Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. And on today's show, we're going to cover what happened during the draft. Very exciting, a lot of fun. People agree, disagree. We don't care. We trust what the coaches and front of the house are doing. And so we're going to cover some undrafted free agents today and even some invites. So I think it's going to be a good show. We got our opinions. Y'all have your opinions, and BH has his opinion. So what did you think about that draft, BH?
Well, I really liked it because, like you say, we trust our GM and our scouts, and and I know a lot of us, you and I, we were there with a lot of people looking at the edges, look at defenders. Are we going to go that route? We felt like we wanted to juice that up a little bit. We lost Dante Fowler, and then boom, we got the curveball, and we got Josh Connerly.
Yeah,
and kind of surprising, but I mean, just such a solid guy, and he's young, he's super talented, mobile. I mean, I think across the board, the biggest knock out there was really not a knock. It was just that he just had to, like they always say, got to build functional strength in the NFL when you're an offensive lineman. It's not enough to be 310. It sounds crazy, right? 6'4", 310. What do you mean? But you got to get stronger, man.
yeah.
It's a rough league, man. Those guys, old 30-year-old defensive ends will work you. But the great thing from him, he just is very mobile, works side to side, has great length, just everything you want. And you pin that together with being able now to move Brandon Coleman inside. That improves the guard position. You got Laramie Tunsil on left tackle. We improved that position. You get him on the right tackle. Josh Connerly replacing Wiley on the right. All of a sudden, man, we took this offensive line, man, way up. Yeah. Now we're looking easily top 10, could be top 5 if everything hits. So yeah, I mean, you can't really knock it. You always, we always hear, especially from the Skins / Commanders fans, the Hogs, man, build that line, and then when we didn't draft the defensive end, they went off the reservation. That's the word. Yeah, guys kind of lost it a little bit, but yeah, everyone kind of came back down to earth. So yeah, it's a strong pick. This guy is a solid guy, and going back to his functional strength. People forget he's only 21 years old, man.
Yeah,
he's a young guy. He hasn't. I don't think he's fully grown into his body.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's still great. He's a young man growing into a full grown man. So anyway, I love it. I love having a dominating offensive line. Who doesn't love that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. Who won the Super Bowl last year was the Philadelphia Eagles. They had the best offensive line in the league, right? When I liked Seattle Seahawks when they won the Super Bowl in 2013, they had the highest paid, best front line. You win your games in the trenches, and so I thought it was a good pick. But our second pick was Trey Amos, from Ole Miss. Man,
Ole Miss.
I thought it was a great pick. I really, me with Marshawn Lattimore. I'm still not on board with that. I'm still not on board. So I like him. He's a plug and play guy. He's a big body guy. He's a 50-50 guy. He's one of the guys. I think a few of our draft picks have been in the league for an extra year due to the 2020 the pandemic, and so they didn't really do anything. So they're on their fifth year. I think one of our picks is on a 6th year or something like that. He is. And yeah. So that's, to me, that's good. I like the young guy, but I like a plug and play, ready to go guy. If he's 23, 24 years old, he's good to go. These people say, oh, he's got to be 20. Oh, he's got to be 21. No. If he's been in college for 5 years, to me, that's a good thing. He's ready to go. And I think, who did he played? Was he with Alabama first?
Yes.
And then he went to Ole Miss or something like that. And so I think he learned a lot in Alabama, then went to Ole Miss. And I just like everything. I watched some of his video, and of course it always looks good, but I think he's a plug and play guy. We got Igbenogany over there, and you want Saintsville to play in the in the slot. So, who you got? What was that guy? Not Josh Johnson, but
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah. We our defensive end from New England there.
yeah, the other Johnson. So
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, some of them guys, if this guy can plug and play like Saintsville did last year, wow. That would be exciting. So I'm really happy for him, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, yeah, I am too. I think so. I love his long arms, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he really nice long arms and loves to play press, man. And he fell to 61, which man, a lot of people had him at the end of the first round, beginning of the second round. So
Hmm.
we lucked out.
Yeah.
So then moving on. Now we didn't have a third round pick, but we did in the fourth, going with Jalen Lane, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Super fast, 4.3, 440. It looks like it on the field. He really can be a burner, a great guy for us to use in the slot.
Hmm.
I think he'll probably mix it up a little bit now because we've got a pretty good group of wide receivers now, and we have Luke McCaffrey can do slot work, and even Debo. Debo kind of, he went outside, inside, outside. So I think this is a guy that'll get 400 snaps because, like last year, Olamide, he had to share snaps. Or, they weren't all like Terry,
Right.
getting a crap ton of snaps because he's a star. But this guy is going to do damage. I think he's got some growing to do with his route running. I think a lot of that was how they used him at Virginia Tech. He seemed to catch everything behind the line, a lot of those pop screens and bubble screens and all. But he looked good, and he caught passes out. I mean, he did get out there. So I think he just has some kind of growing to do with the route running, and he'll learn that. But in the meantime, in some of these sub packages, he's a guy that teams are going to have to, if he's out there in 4 receiver sets,
Hmm.
watch out,
Yeah.
because if you got your number 3 corner, he is so fast and quick, he'll kill you. So I'm excited to have that speed. Speed kills. And I'm just glad to have him. He looked really good. I saw a great interview with him, kind of a long interview. And for a 4th round pick, I forget, it was Kay Adams. She's got her own, she's kind of big time, and she spent a lot of time talking to him. I liked him. Super smart. Nothing. He didn't want to push for time or anything in college because they kind of asked him about that. He goes, "No, my coaches had a plan for me, and I just went with the plan."
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were wondering why he didn't play more, but he didn't. He said, "No, I didn't push for anything. I just did my job, and my coaches had a plan for me, and I ran with it." So I
Nice.
like that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
definitely. And he went to Virginia Tech, so he's kind of
Yep.
a local boy. And he
Close
does.
by.
I think he can do either probably kickoff returns, maybe punt returns,
I think he is the punt returner.
punt returner.
He's
So
going
we
to
could
kick.
use
Yeah,
that because we lost
yeah,
Alhamid Zacchaeus, and I think he was doing that for us. And we lost
yeah,
Crowder too. So they were both doing that
yeah.
for us. So he could step in for that. That's what I
Heck
like
yeah.
about him. So
Yep.
next we have Kane Madrano. I really like the
Yeah.
name. So he's a linebacker.
Interesting. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. I guess what's he kind of, where do you see him? What's his position going to be?
I
I
still
know
like,
he's the
yeah,
linebacker, but
linebacker. He's 6'2" and 220 or something like that. Some people say he's small, but
yeah,
he can go sideline to sideline, and
yep,
good in coverage. He's good in the blitz. So we've always had who David Mayo, and now and I'm not knocking Bobby Wagner, but in this day and age in the NFL, you got to have a linebacker that can move a little bit and cover people. We were getting cooked by David Mayo being in the middle a lot, and so I think this guy can do that kind of job. He's maybe not a starter this year, but maybe he gets in on nickel packages or some kind of weird package he could get in there. But
yeah,
and he's not that big, but I 6'2" and 220 is pretty big by me. So I really like
yep,
what he could do. I saw his film. He had a couple interceptions in that film. He seems like heads up, smart player. So I really like having somebody that can do some coverage across the middle. That was killing us.
Yeah, I agree. You know, especially if someone's got a really good tight end. He's the
Yeah,
guy in the game plan. You might see him get a lot more snaps. Just have him follow that tight end. You know, so
yeah.
that's cool. I like it. And now we go to our. Now that was now our last pick. Was Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Interesting guy. Now this is a guy who played a lot of years.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
unfortunately, he kind of got in trouble in his last year. I think at Arizona, he
yeah.
started the first game of the season, and then he wasn't. You know, they kind of came out and said, "Hey, you're not eligible. You played too much." And we talked. I was a little surprised. Like,
Hmm.
why didn't somebody know that? Why
Yeah,
didn't he know it? Because I looked at how many games he played and how many years he'd been in the league. And then why didn't Arizona know it? He transferred from New Mexico. Why didn't someone know it? But
yeah.
you know, maybe someone did a deep dive and said, "Hey, you played this many games here. There must be a lot of little rules." But unfortunately, the poor guy only played one game and then didn't play the rest of the year. But for him, good news at the end of the year, he got an invite to the Shrine Bowl game, and then he was the offensive MVP at the Shrine Bowl.
Nice.
He
That's
scored
what we
two.
want.
Yeah, he scored two touchdowns. Yeah, ran a bunch. So you know, you think would he be, you know, a little slow and tired, didn't get to play all year, but no, he hit the Shrine Bowl prepared, scored a couple TDs, and so, yeah, I didn't see him catch a lot of balls. Saw some catches, not a lot. He had different running style. It's
Hmm.
hard to even describe. He doesn't juke people. He's like a one move, make a miss kind of guy, and he really was good at finding his gaps. So I mean, we do run a tight zone system, but we do a lot of gap running. It could benefit a guy like him. He knows how to find his gap and he hits
Hmm.
it hard. So I just like having him in the mix. I don't know what's going to happen with a seventh round pick. He's got a lot of guys he'd have to beat out, including Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah,
But you know, who knows? We're here. We're here for the surprises, man.
yeah,
You know, if this kid is going to beat somebody out, I'm all for it.
yeah. Yeah, we still got McNichols too, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And we
More
still
of a
even
third
got
down
that
kind of specialist.
Michael Williams. We still got that guy too.
Michael Wiley, I think
Michael
he
Wiley.
might technically be on there. Yeah, we got some, like I said,
Wow.
we'll talk about. We've even got some undrafted free agents who I think are running back. So we do have some competition, but boy, there's not a lot of people in that running back room. You know, when the cuts come down,
Yeah.
you know, you got, like I said, you got to beat out
Right.
someone who's been here. So you got to really show something special. So, hey, who knows, man? I mean, he's got a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
He's
he
got a
does.
chance to do something.
The coaches wouldn't have picked him if they didn't see something in him that they liked. And hopefully our running game started out good last year and kind of faded towards the end of the year. But let's hope that with this new revamped front line, maybe that's the fix. That the running backs
Mm-hmm.
were actually doing pretty good. We just needed better upfront blocking for them. Let's hope B Rob comes back. In full, B Rob fashion. So that'll be good. Eckler coming back. I really like that room. So I think they beefed up everywhere. I know people cried because we didn't get an edge guy, and we still, even in the undrafted, I don't even think we took an edge. And not at all. So we're not even touching the edge. So we're letting them go with the guys that we have. Was it Armstrong and who's a newer guy? Wise.
We got Dietrich Wise, so
Yeah,
he's someone that's going to be there. You know, Clellan Farrell's coming back, and
yeah,
hopefully Clellan Farrell. You know, he missed a lot of practice because he was constantly had that knee issue. He had to
yeah,
rest and rest and rest all year long. To his credit, he played, but it'd be nice if he would come back 100% healthy.
yeah,
And then I'm trying to think here. We also got Jacob Martin from New England, and we got
yeah.
Javante Jean Baptiste. So I
Yes,
mean, we've got a slew of guys,
yeah,
Jacob Martin and all, who can fill those defensive end positions.
hmm,
So I personally think, and I've heard a rumor that they're going to use Javon Kinlaw in that elephant role like they used to do in Seattle, where they used him as a defensive end
Hmm.
A big guy. They used a guy, Red Bryant, 318 pounds. And his whole thing is to contain the end of the line. He's not
Hmm.
like a come around the edge guy. Now, he can still pressure, but you crush that end of the line. And the other defensive end, like Dorrance Armstrong,
Right.
lines up wide, like a 5 technique,
Right.
maybe 7 technique. And you rush really wide. And so what you do, the whole thing is it's crush and contain, not
Mm.
the whole 242-pound guy coming off the edge and killing. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, I think coach might be going that because the running game, run stopping was awful. So he
Yes.
may be going to that old 43, he called it the 43 under, where everyone has a gap. You crush it, you contain it, you push the pocket in. The quarterback can't really be rolling out right or left because our guys all have contained. And then you just suck the pocket in on the guy. But at the same time, everyone having a gap responsibility, you can stop the run. It's
Nice.
not very people kind of go, oh shit, no, man, we want 2 studs coming off the edge killing people. You don't want like
Yeah.
TJ Watt style. I get that. But I don't think coach is doing that, dude. Look how the
Yeah.
draft went. Look how the
Yeah.
undrafted free agents went.
Yeah.
We didn't
Nothing.
do that. And there is talk though of Kinlaw playing a lot of times out at that elephant position, the defensive end position. So right there, now you've got almost 6 defensive ends when you add them all up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe that's what they're doing because they let those speed rushers go by. They didn't draft them. I forget some of them that went by. Mike Green went by.
Mm.
Ezraku went by. They
Mm.
they just let them go.
Yeah.
They were there and maybe just not fitting their system.
Yeah. Wait until
So
next year. We
yeah,
talked about that too. Maybe they see something
yeah,
coming down the pipe that they figure they can not band-aid it, but they can do with what they have this year, and then next year fill those gaps because they've overloaded on the O line and they've overloaded on wide receivers. They're overloading on corners. Safeties could probably use. You got
yeah.
Quan Martin and I forget the other guy's name is Hill or something.
Oh yeah, we got the new guy. Yeah, that's true. So,
And
but
so
yeah, and I
we could
think
use somebody else there. We got Jeremy Reeves, Percy Butler. I'd really like to see what's his name, Tyler Owens come back. He was hurt, so we do
yep.
have some depth there, but could use a little better.
Yeah, and we knew going in, I mean, even a year ago, no matter how good we did, you can't that roster changeover is so huge.
Yeah,
We just weren't going to fix everything in one
right.
spot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the
Yep.
way I look at it, hey, if you fix the quarterback position and you can fix the O line,
Yes.
and you can fix the DB situation,
Yes.
then that's fine by me. O
Yeah.
line, QB, DB,
Yeah.
I can deal with the rest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And keeping Bobby Wagner in the middle there, that just shows consistency. He's got the green dot. He knows how to read stuff. It'll be a second year with us. I'm excited about that. Keeping Frankie Luvu too. Man, that really shores everything up on this team. I thought they did a great job. So, you want to talk about
Yep.
some UDFAs? Does that really matter, or
Yeah,
anybody that
I
stands
say,
out?
yeah, we got some good UDFAs that we signed. Now these guys
Mhm.
got contracts. And there are a couple safeties that got Robert McDaniel from Jackson State,
Yep.
who, he looked really good to me. I mean, the stuff I saw was good. They got another guy, Trey Rucker, and then they got
Mhm.
2 corners, Carlin Viggers and Fentrell Cypress. I think Cypress got a signed contract too.
Yep.
Viggers got signed, and these guys fit that man coverage, long arm, can tackle well, kind of what Dan Quinn wants, all of them. I don't know about what you saw, if any of those 4 guys stood out enough to make the team. I don't know. I mean, all you got to do is, nothing against Noah, but man, all you got to do is beat out Noah Igbenogany.
Yeah.
Noah's good, a good veteran, but we want to get, remember, younger,
Yep.
faster, stronger,
Yep.
cheaper. That's
Yep.
where we're at.
Yeah.
So maybe one of those guys can step up on him. The Timothy McKay thing is interesting. He got a pretty fat contract. They paid him like 240 something $1,000. So that's a
He's an
priority
O-line
free
guy,
agent.
right?
Yes, he was injured. He got injured at his pro day of all things. Oh,
Ow.
and he was a mid-round pick. He's going to be a third rounder. He played tackle for North Carolina State, but everyone says his best position will be inside. He's a big boy, but it was a pectoral
Yeah.
injury.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll come back. I mean, I bet you he'll be in training camp. I think he might be in there. Now he could start off on the pup or something, but he could also be 100% ready. The doctors and trainers could go, yeah, it's been 5 months, torn
Yeah.
pectoral. Jonathan Allen did it. He came back
Mm-hmm.
in a lot shorter time. So anyway, he got a good contract. So I look at him as someone who will battle for the that guard position there. And we did get two wide receivers. Did you get a chance to look at either of those guys?
No, Jacoby
Uh,
Jones, and I don't see the other one. Oh, yeah. Ja'Cory Brooks. Is that
yeah,
his name? Did we talk?
yeah,
Did
he
we just
was.
talk about him? He looked good.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, he might be in my mind. He might be the top guy out of here.
Yeah. 50-50
He just.
guy,
Yep.
big, got length. Uh, could be a kickoff punt return guy.
Yeah, he just. I mean, I think he had like a little on the slower 40 side of things, maybe 4.6. Maybe that messed him up a little bit. But man, I mean, he kicked ass at Louisville, and he didn't play a lot at Alabama, but he did play for them. And I saw his highlights, and man, I'm telling you, from 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, he looked really good to me. He always got open. And the nice thing about these guys from Louisville and Alabama, every game I watched, who are they playing? Auburn,
Yeah,
LSU,
good team.
Georgia, and even regional teams like Georgia Tech, maybe go play Florida State, maybe you play Miami. But, I mean, Clemson, that schedule for both those teams, man, he was not playing junk pile corners, man. It
Hmm.
wasn't Mountain West corners out there, those SEC corners. So to me, he's kind of the highlight of this whole crew. I'm excited to see if he can break in
Yeah,
and make this roster.
it's a pretty
Yeah,
full room, so he's going to have to do a lot, during training
it
camp,
is.
OTAs, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll wish him luck. Uh,
Yep.
and then we got some final people. We got some invites to the mini camp.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Mini
they're kind
camp
of like a
invites include
free play, right?
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they put them up. They probably get daily expenditures. They feed them. They get with the trainers. They get all kinds of good stuff, and just kind of a invitee. It's a really it's tough to make a team as a camp invitee, but you never know. One of these guys could get an undrafted free agent contract and then move on and go to the OTAs and start working out.
Yeah,
You never know. You throw a wide net and you just pray that someone hits. You
yeah,
never know.
yep,
So, got a quarterback, a tackle, safety, kind of those positions. But, well, you never know. So I wish them all, like you said, wish them all the best of luck. Anyone that can make this team that's coming out of this that's young is great for us.
yeah.
It's what we need.
And they're going
So,
to try even harder because they're going to play for the Washington Commanders. So
man,
it's a great group of people. Who wouldn't want to be on this team? You know what I'm saying? So that
man,
will all
Jaden
look good.
Daniels.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Everything, new stadium coming up. Oh, something else I wanted to touch on. Got a new stadium.
Yeah.
They're working on it. It's got to go through the
Yeah.
government, but they moved the property over to DC instead of federal land or something like that. So they just got to run it through the DC City Council, and it's big money. Probably won't be ready till 2030. Yeah, it's kind of why
Yep.
does it take so long to build a fucking stadium? You know what I'm
I know
saying?
every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, and it's like some people go, like someone made a point, and I think he made a legit point. One of the guys said, "Hey, look, if the city council, if you made them vote today,
Yeah.
they wouldn't vote it through." But it makes sense because if you look at the preliminary offer, it's coming from the Commanders.
Yeah.
And you know how it is, man. When you're dealing, right, we want everything. We want this. You ask for everything.
Mm.
So now people go over, we go back, like, hey, how about if you pay a 1% excise fee in the first year to help us with this? How about we do this? And then all of a sudden you fight, and you whittle it down. You present that, and I think that'll pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all. It's just, you know, our original offer is like a great offer for the Commanders. Oh, it's not a bad offer for the city, but I think it could be a little bit better. But that's how you negotiate. And I think it's going to come through. It's too good not to come through. Dude, that stadium is, what has it been there since 77? That old decrepit stadium or something?
Right. And it's
just
been dead
there.
since 98, sitting there doing nothing. Wasting.
Nothing. Just since 98. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing. That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man.
So,
yeah.
right,
So, yeah, get out there, get it.
Make it happen. Make it happen. So,
make it happen
quick.
Yeah.
So, one last final point I got is cap space. I think after all this has been done, I heard a guy say 23 and a half mil. We still got left.
Cool.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that's just probably going to go to Terry. You know, he's got his contract coming up.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get it to him. And then, there's that rookie, part of that rookie cap that gets formulated. So that's already a set aside kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And, they'll make some, if 23 isn't enough for Terry, you know how it is. They make certain moves, extend this guy, do this here, do that there. But it's nice, man, because a lot of teams, man, they're either up or their cap situation's a disaster.
Yeah.
Not ours. Yeah. So no, the cap's doing good. Roster looks good. Like you sent me that depth chart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
I'm looking at it now.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking at our undrafted free agents and I'm thinking, boy, it's going to be hard for one of you guys to crack this thing.
Yeah.
And even our sixth and seventh round pick, who we just talk about, are they going to be able to fit in here?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, but it's a really tight roster between last year's draft picks and all these killer free agents we got. Man, it's looking really good. It'll still get tweaked next year and get even better, but I don't think we could ask for more at this point.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, dude. I think we're looking cherry. We are looking really, really, really good. I'm happy with the whole thing. So
yep.
I really don't have a complaint at all.
Yep. No, not at all.
Yeah.
So good deal. So what's the next move for our show?
Well, the next move for the show is the schedule coming up around mid-May, 14th or 15th. So
good.
We'll get to, we already know the teams we're going to play. We just don't know when and where. So we'll do a show then. Should be interesting. Then we'll touch on some things that may have occurred between now and then. And that kind of thing. So everybody look for us coming up mid-May. We're going to do one more show and then we'll probably take a month or two off, right?
Yeah, pretty much, unless something crazy happens.
Right.
We'll come back around, maybe the June 1st cuts. We may do a big signing, but basically we'll just be back for camp in the preseason.
Yeah. So look for us then coming up mid-May. And me and BH appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe, do all that stuff. We had a lot of watches last week, and that makes us feel good that you people come and listen to what we have to say. So anything else, BH?
No, man, I'm good.
Me too.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
See you, everybody.